Hi, I'm Colin Ludlow-Mattson, a curriculum designer and educator. I've crafted a user-friendly, highly customizable curriculum for beginning writers in their freshman year of college. The curriculum utilizes a variety of online learning spaces, including the Canvas Learning Management System, Google Slides, Google Docs, and Padlet. Despite the course's complexity on the back end, for students, the experience is almost as simple as opening a notebook and putting pen to paper. The course revolves around 3 key takeaways. First, writing is a process. Second, reading is an essential part of the writing process. And third, writing is composed of moves that we can note, name, and control. Today I want to delve into one aspect of the curriculum that emphasizes these takeaways: writing techniques. In this writing course, students learn to see writing techniques as moves that they can note, name, and control. I'm going to show you how they get there. When we begin working with writing techniques, it is by exploring standard figures of speech and narrative devices, using a glossary I created and designed. Students use this glossary to identify techniques in the narrative essays we read. They then employ techniques they've noticed as readers when they create their own narrative essays. An example of the sort of figure of speech we look at is rhetorical question. In Viet Thanh Nguyen's essay, America Say My Name, the author begins with a rhetorical question. What's your name? With this rhetorical question, Nguyen begins delivering the central point of his essay. In a country of immigrants, all names are American names. As the semester progresses, students expand their conception of writing techniques beyond standard figures and narrative devices. Midway through the semester, I encourage students to move beyond my list, urging them to notice and name their own techniques. Here's where it gets interesting. Students now begin actively contributing to the glossary of writing techniques by adding the techniques that they, in a sense, have created as readers. Let's take a look at a student entry on a technique that they called interjected commentary. The entry starts with the text the student is discussing. Gabriel Romm's essay, "This Kid's Show Proves the Wisdom of Gibberish." The student quotes from Romm's essay, which discusses the writer's experience of a particular episode of the children's cartoon, Pingu. Romm writes, "Each of us conjures our own associations, in my case maternal competence, paternal annoyance, to complement the story." The student discusses their experience as a reader, very insightfully and creatively, I must say. The student asserts, "It's as if the author is reading their writing to me and occasionally pauses what they are reading to add their own thoughts or additional context, much like developers' commentary in video games or translators' notes in books." What this student is doing shows me, as an educator, that they have developed a way of thinking that will help them connect ideas from various situations and different types of content. This kind of thinking is really useful because it means they're likely to apply what they learn in our class to their life outside the class. As teachers, that's exactly what we aim for. Not just for students to understand things in the classroom, but to use that knowledge in other classes, in their careers, and in their everyday lives. My curriculum is multifaceted. The collaborative creation of the glossary is just one example. I'd be happy to walk you through any part of my curriculum. What I've shared here represents my pedagogical approach, but there's much more to explore. Check out additional course content below, and feel free to ask any questions. Thank you for your time.